The Running Zombies are back, ladies and gentlemen, for 28 years later, and they're just as scary in 28 days later, if not more scary in this movie. To be honest, when I saw that first movie, I was an actual child. I don't know how old I was. I could Google it. I'm way too lazy. But I was an actual child. I should not have been seeing that film. That is what made The Runners crazy, by the way. And it's mainstream media has used that and applied it to different things. And they're the most scary zombies. You get bitten. Even the blood, you see the first movie goes in the eye, which is, by the way, absolutely disgusting. And they turn really quick. It's definitely the most scary, and it's amplified in 28 years later. I'm really glad the franchise is back. I love the first movie. Second movie's pretty good. Nowhere near as good as the first movie, sorry. But this third one is pretty sick. Story-wise, obviously, it's 28 years later from the first movie, and we follow a father and son. They live in Scotland on an island, obviously in the UK. And it's got this amazing thing where the tide changes and there's one big path that leads from this island to like the mainland, as they keep saying it. And that is where, you know what I mean, the problems lie. But basically, you see the trailer. Tide comes, it wipes out the path. You cannot get there. I loved that idea. It is so sick. Very unique for this movie. And basically, the father's taking the son to the mainland to just whoosh, pop some zombie heads off clean because he's coming of age, he's 12. He wants to get him going, do you know what I mean? And that is your basic blueprint of the movie. However, I will say, and normally I'd add this to the negative zone, but I'm going to say it right now up front. That's like half of the movie, the first half. And the trailer, you sneaky buggers, you didn't really allude to what's going to happen in the second half, and it was a big tonal shift, huge like story change. I'm not 100% sold on it, but for the most bit, the story was pretty sick. Character-wise, everyone was really, really good. There's no like flop acting-wise. I would say as well, the actual son, he is the leader of the movie. He's running this thing. I don't know how old he is in real life, but he's playing a 12-year-old, and he, salute you, my G, because the acting was crazy good. Everyone does an amazing job. There's a lot of like hidden little things that pop up later. Really nice. Loved all that stuff. Characters are really good. But now we want to talk about the most important stuff.
The kills, the gore, the murders, the zombies.
There are straight up, bruv, Mortal Kombat fatalities in this movie. That's all I'm going to say. All of the zombie stuff was really good. Very scary. They're running. There is no mercy, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Non-stop chaos. The blood, the gore, practical effect kills, really, really good. Definitely like some of the best out of the trilogy of movies now, so I was very, very pleased to see that. Even the CG, which is sparing in this movie, because there's a whole thing, they shot in an iPhone and blah, 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 blah. After lenses and stuff, I guess technically it's still an iPhone, whatever. It still has that like kind of gritty, grainy feel to it, even though obviously tech has like come a long way since the first movie. It still feels like a 28-year day, you know, the franchise. It feels like the movie still, so they kept that intact. But the world, the atmosphere was god tier for me, man. Just seeing the wildlife, seeing the UK where I live just destroyed, bro. Grass everywhere, it's overgrown. Seeing like the community on the island, obviously they've had basically 3 decades to like make a defense, you know, plan stuff, teach the kids, like the new generation. It's great to see, and I really, truly loved it. However, it wasn't all perfection. I've already complained about the story. That's my biggest complaint. But if we're going to go to the negative zone, there were some negatives. First of all, there's some camera work that is just weird as fuck, if I'm being honest. There's also like arrow slow-mo bullet time and choppy weird edits, which I was just, I don't know, man. I didn't like it. It just didn't sit right for me. It just felt a little bit weird. And like I said, not only the second half, the story is complete tonal change. The last like 10 minutes, there is some straight up wacky shit that happens. And I don't know how I feel about it. This is going to be a really weird one to grade. I think if you're a 28 fan, should we just say, you're going to like the movie. 100%. I liked it, and I'm not like the biggest fan. I really like this movie. If you like horror, zombies, gore, go see it. You will not dislike this movie. However, this is really weird to say. I don't know if anyone else has said it. This feels like a critic, or like, do you know what I mean? It feels like one of those type of movies. I can't explain it. For the general audience who wants to see zombies and stuff like that, you're going to like it. But there's some things where they like really try and get you emotionally invested in things. I don't think everything paid off, but that is my useless nerd opinion. Score-wise, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to go 28 years later. 7.5 nerds out of 10. I'm going to just go on a limb, and I haven't checked anything. I know the scores overall is pretty good for this movie. I can see why, but I will say, I bet critically this is very high. And when you get like IMDb, when people vote, or like the Rotten Tomatoes vote, I think that will balance out and come down and bring the overall score down a little bit. Very good film. Definitely better than the second film. I think the first film was better. It's the OG, man. A little bit off what I'd call like a banger. Do you know what I mean? It's nearly a banger. It's a very, very good movie. I just wish some of the tonal changes, especially in that second half, was not there. But for the majority, I'd say like 70% of this movie is very good. And then you've got a 30% which is a bit weird, man. But yeah, that's my useless opinion. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love and appreciate you all. Take care. See you in a bit, man. Peace. Keep an eye out for zombies.